Welcome back to another edition of Ask Ron, where Ron answers your Gold Club members' questions each and every week. My name is Jesse, and I have Ron here ready to answer your questions. You ready?
I am ready.
All right.
Been down here in Florida looking at the most beautiful weather you could get anywhere in the country.
If it could only stay like this year
only.
long, it's beautiful outside. I love this time of year. All right, we're going to start with no other than Tony and Angie Stewart from Ohio. Their question: what's your advice for navigating creative deals in neighborhoods where HOA bans rentals or short-term leases?
The only thing you can do with them are to maybe buy them and then sell them with owner financing, because they, lease options would out if they won't let you put a tenant in the house. And that's why you check the docs before you buy the house to make sure that they don't have anything against renting it out. Some of them they're that way. And also the dues and the docs.
Got it. That's a good answer. Nice and simple. Next up, we have Stephen Jefferson from New York. He says, I have a friend with poor credit, but decent income. He saw a house he wants to buy, but cannot get financing. The seller didn't put it on the market yet, and he wants me to buy it, then lease option it to him. How would you structure a deal like this? The house has no mortgage, seller wants $165K, and the house is worth $185K, according to my realtor.
You didn't ask me the most important question. If he wants $165K and he won't take anything but all cash, the deal is dead as a doornail. But if he'll take terms, then you got to work out the terms by using my scripts. So I don't know if you've been to my training or not, but if not, you need to get there, which, just your question tells me you haven't been there. So you got to negotiate that thing with a very small down payment, if any, and that's the kind of house you can get no down payment and then a low monthly payment. Then you can turn it into a golden goose long term. But no terms, no deal. It's just that simple. You can't make chicken salad out of chicken shit. You can write that one down.
All right, next up we have Lucky Luck from North Carolina.
Hey, Lucky.
He's got 3 questions. All of them look to be about deals. So question 1, it's a property in Arlington, Texas. The ARV is $466K.
Yep.
The seller will sell for what he owes, which is $360K. PITI $3,000. And so his question is how to structure to sell on owner financing after purchase using your agreement.
What was the PITI?
$3,000.
Okay. That Texas taxes are kind of high. That's what it might be okay there, the payment. What was the last question? What was the end question?
His question was how to structure to sell on owner financing.
Well, come on, Lucky. I mean, you know better than that. You put the price on it, which is at least the retail price you think, but you ought to confirm that first for sure. And getting an appraisal on it after you get under contract and check the title. And then you put the price on it and you let the market tell you what the down payment and the monthly payment is. Now you can lease purchase in Texas. If you want to sell with owner financing, you can do that too. So if it's owner financing, you put owner financing in the ad, no bank qualifying, period. And that'll get them calling you. And then you simply use the same script to sell on owner financing as you do on a lease purchase. What's the most you can put down? What's the most you can pay per month? And that's the 2 most important questions. And from there, you determine whether they're a suspect or a prospect. And if it looks like they're a prospect, you give them the key to go look at the house and get through your lockbox. Just like it says in your manual, Lucky, step by step.
All right, next up, he has another deal in North Carolina, which is a great area. He says the seller will sell for what they owe, which is $310,000. The ARV is around $325K. PITI is $2,300 plus $150 HOA. It's a 3-story townhouse, 1-car garage, and it rents in the area for about $2,100. His question is, would you consider this a good long-term deal and would you do it?
It's only a long-term deal because you got no equity in it, so to speak. However, that one scares me a little, Lucky, because it's a townhouse, number one, which is okay. I do a lot of them, but you can't, they're not nowhere near as popular as houses are. Your payment is probably, yeah, you might get 2,500 a month out of it. It's not going to get a big cash flow. And I'm assuming it's in excellent condition, or you would have told me so, as I am on the last one as well. I would put it under contract and go find me a tenant buyer before I closed on it. Unless you want to buy it, and it's easy to buy. That's what these are the ones I've been telling everybody about. These are the ones with small equity in them, payments upward near rent, but they're in excellent condition. And I'm just guessing this seller hasn't been in the house more than 2 or 3 years. So they got a higher interest rate on the loan. But that wouldn't stop me from putting it under contract and go find somebody to put in it before I close. And I wish I knew it was vacant or occupied, but either way, if it's occupied, you're going to have to get the seller to show the house for you and tell them exactly what you're going to do.
Gotcha. Thank you, Ron. Next up, he has another deal, also in North Carolina. He says the seller is willing to sell for what she owes, which is about $266K. The ARB is $300K. PITI plus HOA is about $2,100. And the market rent is also around $2,000. He says, after I visited and she reviewed the lease purchase agreement, she emailed me wanting to rewrite almost 50% of it in her favor. I told her this is our standard agreement and I'm okay with small changes, but not major ones.
Wait a minute. Stop. She wants to sell it for what she owes. She's got very little equity in it, and she wants to discuss with you about changing the contract. No, no. And not only that, Lucky, it's the same conversation we just had. If you buy that property, you got to pay closing costs on it. You're taking the risk of the market, and the market scares me right now because of what you see the ARV is may not be correct because the values are declining pretty rapidly right now. At least they are around here. So that would be one of them deals where I also I'll start making the payments 30 days after I put tenant buyer in the house. And frankly, it sounds like you're not going to work this out with her anyway, because she's all one-sided. And I don't care. Let her sweat there with a loan. If she ain't careful, she's going to wind up going back to the bank. There's really not enough. She might get a realtor to sell it for her, but she sure wouldn't get anything out of it. I guess she doesn't expect it anyway. She said she'd sell for what she owes. So you just need to be hard line with her. Listen, this is the agreement that we're going to use. And there's not much in it that I can change, but if that won't work for you, I understand. Call me if you change your mind. And that's how you leave it.
Good deal. Fully answered his question, which was, would you try to make it work or walk away?
Look, you must be targeting the low equity houses like I taught you to do. Just keep doing that and don't let one seller run your life for you. I tell you, you're going to hate yourself if you let her get everything her way and you wind up wishing you to negotiate a little longer. Just, quit crying over spilled milk. Go milk another cow.
That's right. All right. Next up, we have Evgenii from Nevada. His question is, I'm interested in getting your ideas on how to do the pretty house approach or another method to deal with small multifamily properties. And maybe a different approach for slightly more units. What are some complexities that may arise compared to SFH? Maybe he's referring to short-term rentals.
No, single family houses.
Single family houses. There you go.
I don't understand the question. What are some of the difficulties that may arise?
Yes. What are some of the complexities? What are some difficulties that may arise?
Wow. Let me see if I can still see it. If you look real hard behind me, you can see a book up there. I'll get out of the way, called Lessons Learned on the bottom shelf. Okay. That book would answer your question for you. What are some of the difficulties that you run across? There's no way. I mean, I could speak for 2 hours on that subject alone, especially on the multifamily. I don't have any problem with 4 units. And you do the same marketing as you do for single family houses, but you target them differently. You can pull a list out of Dreams, for example. You target the multifamily houses. And the problem is the managing of them because you don't get big non-refundable deposits. You got to do the repairs. So you're dealing with tenants. Unlike the lease purchase business, where I get a big deposit and they do the repairs, which makes life 10 times easier. There's no reason you can't have a combination of both because they're both the same amount of work to get bought. But then you got four tenants to go find, four tenants to deal with, and might want to spend a little time learning about property management if you're going to get into the multifamily business. Nothing wrong with it. I've done it all, but I find houses a lot easier. That's all. Cash flow should be bigger. Cash flow monthly is going to be bigger on the 4 unit, but you're forfeiting that great big non-refundable deposit you can get on a house. So I don't know how the math's going to play out, but either way, do them both.
That was a good answer. Thank you, Ron. Next up, we have Brian Lucy from Colorado.
Hey, Brian.
And this is in regard, he watched your masterclass lesson on Tuesday, pre-screening terms deals.
Hmm.
So he says, when you say the VAs will check voicemails and emails, is there a voice and email with Dreams?
Certainly emails, but be honest with you, Brian, I'd check those myself. You know, that's so simple for you to do. You can respond to whatever you're going to do immediately. And remember, anything you get your VA to do now, you're running up your VA bill. So uh, I would advise you to take control of that. But there's certainly emails. There's no voicemail in Dreams, but if people are calling you, you should have them call Pat Live anyway. If they're coming to you online, you should go to the website that's within Dreams. And either way, you get the information you want right on there. And then you call them back or have the VA fill out the PI sheet first and then call them back, which is the ideal way to do it. But when you go to Pat Live, you see your voicemail is already built in. They are it live. And when you're going to your website, it asks them the same questions that Pat Live would ask them if they called. So you got both covered, online and offline income calls. Driving them to voicemail is going to cost you deals, man, because people just won't call you back. They just go to whoever else they can find to buy houses. Don't do that, especially for a measly $200 a month for Pat Live.
That's right. All right, next up, we have Barbara from Pennsylvania. She says, I used to wholesale a lot, but now I can't because Pennsylvania says I need a real estate license to wholesale. Her question is, do I need one to do your ugly or pretty house way of business?
Okay. Yes, Pennsylvania has outlawed the assignment of contracts now. Don't confuse that with wholesaling. That's what most people do, including us. But they have not outlawed wholesaling. Number one, you can actually fund it and then resell it quickly. That's one way. Another way is to get out of Pennsylvania and buy them outside of Pennsylvania. It eliminates that rule. And then, of course, what's going to hurt? Go down and get a license if you feel like doing that. It's a nice thing to have. Doesn't affect your business any, except that now you can wholesale. Plus, you might get some listing deals when you talk to sellers who don't want to sell, but they do want to list. So one of those three is your only choice if you're going to wholesale deals up there, because assigning contracts is no longer allowed there. And a few other states, Illinois one, Kansas one. Let me think of another one. Illinois, Kansas, Pennsylvania, and South Carolina. If it ain't passed, it's going to pass someday in the not too distant future.
Okay. Thank you for that, Ron. Our last question for this week is from Jacob in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, Ron, in your experience, do you find that it's harder to find tenant buyers during certain times of the year? Like, for instance, during when school is in session. Assuming we usually need them to be able to move into the property within just a couple of months or so. He was just wondering if this could be a problem during non-summer months.
Okay, you have to ask me one question at a time.
Okay, we'll start with, it was all in one. His question basically is just, is there a time where you find it hard to install a tenant buyer during certain times of the year?
I don't know that I've ever measured that. Some people think it's harder doing Christmas, December. Not really. Um, is it hotter, not harder during the summer? I can't answer that one way or another either because you find tenant buyers all year long. Depends on when they're ready to go. But I am sure there are things that will affect that. Holidays affect it, but not very far ahead of them or after them. They don't call you on Christmas Day, for example. I did buy a house on Christmas Eve one time. So I just don't know. And it might even vary on where you live. But frankly, that shouldn't have any bearing on you getting the house on the market and taking calls. And frankly, you can beef up your advertising if you're not getting enough calls, but you should if you put the right words in them, like no bank qualifying and lease purchase. That should get you enough calls right there to get your house leased. Sometimes I find it harder to get the kind of money out of it that I would want, but that's going to be based more on where the property is located and the price of it, I would think, than the time of the year. So again, only way you find out is test, test, test. I hate that word. Test, test.
All right, well, that is all of the questions that we have
That's
for
it?
this rerun.
That's it?
That is all the questions, yep.
Okay. All right. I hope you guys are on our free master class that I'm right in the middle of right now. And if you have not got on it yet, then you can get on it. You know what? I don't know where to tell them to go to you.
I'll go ahead and drop the link below so you guys
Okay.
can sign up if you haven't already.
And then you can go back and review. I think I've taped so far 11 lessons. In fact, I taped enough to get through next week, Tuesday and Thursday at noon Eastern time. And I'm constantly working on these things. So it's a little valuable information for you, no charge to you. So go get on that. And then I think I already told you guys to set aside the dates in December for our summer summit coming up that time. And they are the first week of December. It's a 3-day event. It's free. We're going to have a lot of quality people on there. They're experts in their field. I'll be doing a lot of teaching on there. And actually, it is the 3rd, 4th, and the 5th of December. Just get that in your calendar and prepare for it. And then you're running out of time to get down here and join me this month in Jacksonville for the Quick Start School. It's going to be a very small school. It's your chance to get in with very small folks. We've only been advertising it now for about 3 weeks. Therefore, and incidentally, it's simulcast. That means you come down live, you can watch it online. Don't even think about watching it online. Come down live, 10 times better, trust me. And when you come down live, you can bring leads and we'll do our best to turn them into deals for you while you're in class. And the weather's going to be gorgeous, guaranteed, at least inside the building, as far as I know. So come on, make a decision. And right now, the price on this thing is as low as it's ever been in my 43 years. So it's a great time to get next year started off right. And you can bring a guest with you when you come, as long as they're in your family or in your business. Come see Papa. This is the last one we're doing this year on the east side of the country. One in LA in November, and that's it for this year. So call in our office and discuss it with them. Got a special deal going for you right now. All right. Anything that I missed, Jesse?
They gotta get into the automation and delegation next Thursday. That's the workshop on October 9th.
Okay,
So you
good.
guys go down below and get registered for that. That's also free.
That's where we're going to go through the entire automation process that we've set up for you over the years. So you don't have to go out and find people to do this for you and test them and fire them and go hire more and all that. A very inexpensive operating cost in this business, thanks to global publishing and a lot of years of work and research and testing. So get on that. What time is it? What time is that on?
12 noon Eastern time.
12 to 2?
12 noon.
12 noon Eastern time. Yeah. So we're going to go through all the systems and the staff will be telling you about them and I'll be on there as well, 12 to 2. So anyway, register for that. It's all free. And, that's the only time we're going to do that. So I'll see you next week, same time, same channel. Right, Jesse?
That's right. We'll see you next week, guys.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Ron.
We'll get some deals, guys.